The graphic came up on screen during the broadcast, and I literally gasped. I quite literally paused YouTube TV, went back, looked at it again, and gasped a second time. Never scored in the second round.
That's your captain. That's your best goal scorer. Austin Matthews can't be doing this in the second round. And the whole team, this is a must-win game. We're told they're different. And then you give up 6 straight goals at home. What are we doing, Toronto? Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast brought to you by BetMGM. I am your host, Dan Powers, and this man is so committed to the Church of Tom Brady that he too believes drinking water will prevent sunburns. Chris Powers.
And tomatoes give you massive inflammation, and they're terrible for you, as always.
As a huge tomato fan, I actually kind of agree with that one.
I'm telling you, dude. Tell the man he's wrong.
I've eliminated tomatoes a little bit from my diet.
I do like them.
My knees are less creaky.
I do like them, but tell the man he's wrong. Tell the man he's wrong.
I love tomatoes. We have so much to get into, Chris.
I know.
What the fuck just happened tonight?
Oh my God, dude. We got someone through. Someone's through.
We got someone through
Someone's
to
through to the next
final.
round. Round 3. Ticket punched. It's a Polar Express, dude. It says WCF. Here you go. Don't lose it. Otherwise, you're kicked off the fucking train.
It's just they are as inevitable. And what's funny is I knew they were going to win this game, but winning it like that is just so insane.
I know.
But before we get into that, we've got a little bit of not ice. We had a lot of not ice support, and I've got great news for everybody. We announced this a little bit on the story, but I'm telling you now on the pod, we're getting every episode Diddy trial check-ins.
We have to. We simply have to.
We simply have to. Should we start with the other bit of news for you, or should we start with Diddy trial?
Which was what?
Well, we've got a serious update.
Let's do that after.
Let's do that after.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into the Diddy trial.
Yep.
Folks, as you know, if you're a loyal listener, if you're a new listener,
welcome.
We're going
to the Terror Dome, dude.
We're going to start this hockey podcast by talking about the Sean Diddy Combs trial. We are through day 3.
Yes.
And we've got semen on nipples.
Hell yeah.
We've got piss in mouths.
Well, hell yeah.
We've got other really, really bad stuff.
Hell no.
We've got a homeless man accosting a reporter.
Hell no.
And we've still got our boy from down the block being the judge.
Hell yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Dude, it's fucked how long the witnesses go. You know what I mean? In movies, it's kind of like, boom, you get up there and the prosecutor says like a thing that you're like, oh, it's over. But then the defense attorney comes up and he's like, but this. And then the witness is like, oh, shit, I'm caught in a lie, or whatever, or reverse that. Yeah. And then we move on, dude. Next witness. In this, dude, Cassie was up there for 9 hours, over 2 days now. And they were like, okay, now we're going to begin the cross-examination. And the judge was like, actually, go home. We'll do this tomorrow, as in today when you're listening to this Thursday. But I'm like, dude.
It's a lot of freak-offs to get through, bro.
True.
So Cassie Ventura has been witness number 1, right?
Well, 2,
technically
I think,
2.
Right? Yeah.
Well, because witness 1 went missing or something.
No, victim 3 is missing, literally. Yeah. But the other witness, with the dude, the first dude,
was the
he was like they paid me to bang Cassie, and then and Diddy would watch and jerk off.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude.
So Cassie Ventura is now on the stand, and by the way, the court sketches are so fucking bad.
I don't know. I think it's a bit.
I agree.
Yeah.
Completely. I think that this person has been hired and is going to go, I wonder when people are going to call me out for this. It looks like something from Rocco's Modern Life.
Dude, they audition like 10 people and then take the worst one. They're like, we
can't have these look too
You
accurate.
are terrible. Let's take you.
Truly.
No offense.
Feels like they can't look too accurate. So Cassie's on the stand.
Yep.
Ex-girlfriend here.
Yep.
What is crazy is, I said this to you. We're getting some information from homeboy who was the sex worker.
Yeah.
Now we're getting info from Cassie. Cassie, ex-girlfriend, so in love, enamored by this big music guy.
Yeah.
Wants to impress her. She's going along with it. But it is this. The story is, he made me do stuff I didn't want to do. That's a no-no, Diddy.
Yeah.
I think that it's safe to say, from what we have heard from the first guy, sex worker, we're not kink shaming, but there's a little bit of kink both sides. Like Cassie, I understand, and maybe Cassie didn't want to do any of it, But we're partaking in peeing mouths. We're partaking in group sex, watching sex, jerking off.
Yeah.
And things got weird. Things got real weird. And it is nuts how there are people saying, and this is how the court of law works. There were people walking out of day one and day two, particularly day one, going, Diddy's winning, man.
Dude, but a lot of, you know, in the boxing scorecard, a lot of 10-9 Diddy after day one. People saying that. And I'm like,
for sure.
What?
And there were people even day two being like, that one was pretty close. Might be a split decision.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, this is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Tip of the iceberg, folks. Let's cool it with the Diddy's winning talk.
Yep.
And also, we know everyone has heard shit. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't care what's being said, dude.
Yeah.
Unless irreversible evidence has been proved, or it proves that Diddy was controlled by aliens or the Russians to do all of this. I'm like, what are we talking about here? Because this man is an evil, psychotic person.
I don't know, to that point, Dan, I don't know how the court of public opinion, as they say, isn't working in the prosecution's favor already. Because remember in the Depp trial, literally it was people were laughing. It became a farce. Because they would say like, oh, you did this, Johnny. And he'd be like, she shit in my bed. And then everyone would start dying laughing. And the trial was over, essentially, because people were just laughing at Amber Heard because we know what you've done. And I think maybe the answer is the Diddy allegations are way worse than shitting in a bed, which is fucking psychotic, but not physically harmful. But
you're not doing something so mortifying to another human.
But I am like, what are we talking about here? Everybody knows what happened. Like, there's nothing to talk about. How are we all not laughing at Diddy when the charges are just being read? Like as people are testifying, I feel like the rest of the world should just be laughing hysterically, being like, I can't believe you did all this, man. That's fucking wild. How'd you have the time? How'd you have the time to do all this bad stuff?
I don't get it, Chris. It's like, I'm just genuinely processing what you're saying to me right now.
Yeah.
When you look at all of the things that he's done and produced and all of frankly, all of this shit too.
Yeah.
I don't get how you find the time of day, but I guess when you have sick thoughts, you figure it out and you jam it in.
I can barely get through my to-do list.
But I am waiting. As this goes on, we're through day 3.
Yep.
I am waiting with bated breath and a frothing mouth for just the hammer. What is the hammer for the prosecution? Because it sure as shit ain't Cassie.
Dude, no, but they're saying it is. They're like, this is our star witness. This is like our number one witness that we need to get across, that he raped her, he assaulted her, he assaulted her friend. Like, this is the one. And tomorrow, or I guess today for the listeners, is going to be fucking insane, because if the defense gets a good cross-examination of her over a ruthless 8-hour day, which will probably extend into Friday, honestly, but if the defense ruthlessly cross-examines her and questions her character to the jury, we are fucked, because this testimony needs to end, and it needs to be officially established that he 100% brutally assaulted her, raped her, assaulted her friends, did all this bad shit.
Yeah.
And he's a bad guy. Because if we don't come out of her with that known, then everything is fucking FUBAR.
It's so true, but it's also that weird thing that's like, how do we know that is a fact?
Yeah.
Without the tapes, dude. Give me the fucking tapes.
We got one tape.
How is this trial not just play?
Agreed.
Here's tape 567 of this guy being a degenerate fuckstick.
Dude.
Play.
There was one part where she was like, he also assaulted at least 2 of Cassie's friends. And one of them, he hit in the face with a wooden hanger. And I loved that Cassie goes, I had been friends with that person. I forget her name. But she goes, I had been friends with that person. We've been close friends for 17 years. And then we were no longer friends after Diddy smashed her in the face with a hanger. And I was like, yeah, that is actually usually the playbook on how to lose friends, when your boyfriend assaults them over the face and none of you do anything. And then the other one, her other friend, he held off of the 17th floor balcony of the hotel. Dude. Like, this is a fucking mob movie, dude, which I guess it is, kind of. But I'm like, or it's an apartment building or something. But I'm like, dude, there's not footage of that. Like, did nobody see the person dangling over the
He probably had it deleted. He probably had it removed.
Right. That's actually 100%
what happened. That's fucking crazy about all this shit. But the some of the stuff that came out in day 2 Cassie, what I alluded to earlier, saying that they would pay the sex worker to have sex with each other, to have sex with Cassie. Cassie was being demanded to be on her period while they did the freak off, so there would be blood all over the sheets and then piss all over the sheets. We got blood and piss stuff going on.
Piss,
and then Cassie
blood.
said that he would then have the sex worker crank his hog to completion and then use his buttercream, and rub it on Diddy's nipples.
Dude, concoction.
This, dude.
Dude, also, here's a question.
I'm telling you, it's going to get way worse.
Here's a question for you.
Way worse.
Why is this not evidence, right? Well, how come per Cassie, right? She goes, and you know what one thing I give her a lot of credit for is they asked her why she finally came out with it. And she was just like, dude, it's what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. I just literally couldn't carry this guilt anymore. And I'm like, I get that. I can respect that.
Yeah.
But here's my question. He treats her like fucking horribly.
Yeah.
And she goes, they break up or whatever. And then she goes, I'm going to write a book about my experience, tell-all book. And he goes, please, God, don't do that. I will give you $20 million to not do that.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay.
Deal.
And takes it. And she has said in court that she's like, I regret that. I just wanted payment for all the pain and the time and all this shit. If I wasn't going to do the book, I was going to do this, which whatever. I'm not even judging her decision there. I'm just saying, literally, how do we as a fucking court of law go like this? She said that you did so much bad shit that she was going to write a book about it, and you went, "Oh my God, here's $20 million."
Here's $20 million USD.
Isn't that proof? Like, isn't that like, oh, obviously you did it? Why on God's fuck would you give her $20 million if you didn't do anything?
He's a shy guy.
You're like,
he's just a shy. He wants to
play-
protect his secrets.
You're like,
protect his private life.
There's the tape, dude. You paid her $20 million to just be quiet. There's the tape, dude. It's done. We're done here. Literally, that's the whole trial. If I'm the judge, how much did you pay her to be quiet? $20 million. Gavel. Boom. Life. Thanks. How are you? How you been? Enjoy it.
I think you're right. For me, we are through 3 days, and the consensus for me and my brain is we are only discussing just the fucking weird ass shit. No king shaming that is going on.
Yep.
And I want the dirt, dude.
Yeah.
If people are talking to me about this is the star witness, shame on you, prosecution. You idiots. You stupid idiots. How did you not figure out how to get someone important? No offense, Cassie. I'm not saying you're not important, but if this is the dirt, how did you not get someone to come forward and be like this? Oh yeah, I saw him absolutely destroying, drugging, raping, battering, and beating people. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Get this fucking scumbag now.
Dude, and
I need it. I'm waiting for the dirt.
And I want everyone on the stand. Like, this is all good that's these people so far, but I'm like, call them all, dude.
We need
call Kutcher.
I'm not saying
Call Beyonce.
Get him.
Get him on the stand. Can't you call anybody as a witness?
You have to disclose it, but yes, I think so.
Right, like they couldn't be like, no, I'm not testifying.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure you can.
They can plead the fifth. They can get up there and plead the fifth.
No, but I'm pretty sure the defense can be like, this is not they have to present it, and then they have to like agree to it or something.
Interesting. Call me.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I want to get Kutcher on the stand, dude.
Let me know.
Get Kutcher on the stand. See what he has to say. I got to save that.
Put it this way: it has been wild info, but I am thus far unsatisfied with the dirt. I want it to get much dirtier, so this motherfucker gets got.
It will.
Fill everyone in on your Coachella payment status.
A lot of people asking. So we got a slight Coachella update. Wow, I'm so glad that didn't just play. Okay, so here we go. And listen, I have made a vow to myself, I guess, that I am not going to dox this kid on this podcast until it is confirmed that he is going to fuck me.
Yeah.
Because in his defense, he has been extremely responsive.
If this is
aloof.
a grift
or
a scam, it is the most committed to a part, to a role, to a bit any human being has ever been.
But I will. Like, if it becomes a fuck job, then I will call the Netters army to arms. and we're gonna get this person.
Yeah.
But until then, you're not getting any names. We I can't even go all the way back, but it's basically just like we keep going because we're all on a thread. We keep going, hey, can we get the money? And then he'll go, yup, 100%. I get paid on Saturday.
Oh yeah, people keep in mind this we're almost a month past the. I think it was the 18th of last month. He was like, I'll get you all
paid
the
on
money.
the 18th. So then that day comes and goes. We're like, yo, and then he's like, hey, so sorry, it's been crazy. I get paid next Saturday. Great. Sounds good. All good. You send it then. Next Saturday comes and goes, hey, sorry, I'm getting paid next week. And I'm like, yep, no problem. And then he's like, yo, it's kind of hard tracking down the money, which again, if anyone remembers, you kind of remember his backstory. So I'm like, is it hard? But again, I don't want to judge, but it's been a lot of like next week. So then this week we were like, dude, because I said installments are fine. I might have just said that, but I was like, installments are so fine, whatever. Mm-hmm. So you go, dude, we're going to need something here. So he says, no problem. This is like yesterday, dude. He says, no problem. I paid some bills and rent. And I got all my shit handled. Mm-hmm. So how's $500? And again, sure, I'll take $500 a pop till we're
whatever
whole.
Whatever you need, pal.
Till we're whole.
Whatever you need.
So I say, nope, great, that works. And then he goes, where? And Dan goes, Venmo or Cash App. And he goes, how about Cash App? And that tracks actually because...
May I jump in and say it is so funny and also frustrating that I keep having to chime in because you're such a fucking ghost that I know that you don't get these notifications because you have a burner and you don't go on Instagram. And I'm like, why am I involved in this?
But dude, also he only answers you. I know. For the most part. Like when
because you're a ghost. You're an Instagram egg responding to him and he's probably like, who is this fucking clown?
But I'm like, any update? Nothing. And then nothing. And then you go, gonna need an update. And he's like, and I'm like, dude, like,
he's afraid I'm gonna kill him.
Well, I know, because he knows I'm soft. He knows I'm soft.
I've threatened him with a few things.
So he goes, you go Cash App, Venmo or Cash App. He goes Cash App, which tracks because that's where I was communicating with him.
Sure.
And he says, what is the Cash App? And I send it to him. And I go, here you go. Boom. And he goes, was this today? He goes, I
think so.
I'm not sure if you reported me or you reported my Cash App, but it got closed. So my girlfriend's going to send it to you when it comes through, which I don't even know what that means. And I'm like, dude, I didn't report anything. I told you I was going to report it if you didn't come correct, which you have been doing theoretically or saying you're going to do. And then now Cash App been deleted, dude. Cash App been deleted.
I gasped like an old woman when he accused you of reporting his Cash
App gone, dude.
I was like, dude.
No Venmo and his Cash App been closed because of me. And he goes, so my girlfriend's going to send it. I go, well, dude, I didn't do shit, but that's fine too. I don't give a fuck who sends me the money. And he goes, cool, let you know. And I'm like, let me know what, dude? No. Let me know
Let me know what,
there. Let me know it's been sent.
And again, we're not going to dox anyone, but I am going to say,
fuck.
Again, folks, your father is an insanely successful and wealthy former NFL player. Get the money from your dad. I'm sorry. This is insane.
It's a lot to me, but it's not that much. And I don't mean to imply it's not a significant amount of money. It is, but I just, you wonder. You wonder if it would, how much of a drop it is.
I just can't get over if this person is as genuine as they come off in the messages. You would think that over a month, you'd be like, this is awful, guys. I'm sorry. And you would just go to your dad, hat in hand, and be like, hey, man, I fucked up. Can you help me out? Crazy.
Oh, so we'll see. We'll see who the girlfriend is.
So, hey, folks, we'll keep you updated on the Diddy trial and as well as if CP ever gets his money. For now, we're going to take a quick break and talk about one of our sponsors.
BetMGM has to be the best book going because they have the sickest promotions going. That's what I'm talking about. They're offering the empty net goal every game, which we've been hammering. And my God, was it lucrative in round one. It's cooled off a bit in round two. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's coming back and I'm going to stay hot on it and you should be following that. But even if you don't want that, you can do the hat trick jackpot, which is incredible because you just have to pick anytime goal scorers. And if they get a hat trick, you get your share of 10 G's in bonus bets. I'm not kidding. That's actually a real thing that's happening that you get to do if you just bet on an anytime goal scorer. So I want you to download the BetMGM app. Use promo code NETTERS. That's NETTERS. And if so many good things happen. If you lose your first bet, you can get $1,500 in bonus bets. You can do the hat trick jackpot and possibly split a share of 10 G's in bonus bets. So you need to get involved with this right now because you're missing out on epic opportunities, and I don't want that for you. I want good things for you. So download that BetMGM app, use promo code NETTERS, and get in on the action today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. We're starting off with Vegas Oilers. Game literally just ended.
Yep.
We're watching it right here. And I got one word to say. Do you know what it is? I'm going to say one word. Next thing coming to my mouth is going to be one word. And I'm going to like stretch it out and yell it.
Inevitable.
Oh, that's a good guess, but no.
Okay, not that. Let me say it is stinky.
That was it, Dan. That was
That was definitely it.
Oh, it's this, dude. Skinner!
Oh,
God. Wow, dude. Are you kidding me?
Could you possibly feel better for a human being?
Dude, watching the boys jump on him after that. We said it after game, whatever the fuck, 4. But still, like, he must be on cloud fucking 20.
I am so happy watching him go through the handshake line.
It's incredible,
and his
dude.
big vintage mustache,
Yeah.
and just the way he looked so at peace, nodding at guys, being like, "Hey, great, great series, good effort. You guys stink. Good effort.
Sucks. You
But
suck.
just seeing the relief on his face, I was thrilled for him. I was like, what a win,
Dude,
what a story.
We posted him getting the player of the game thing. I hope he gets it again. Actually, who scored?
Kasperi.
Yeah, he should get it. But, dude, Skinner, dog. Not giving the net up, dude, period. Not giving the net up.
I mean, we called it.
Yeah.
And that, I'm not saying, we called it. That is I think a lot of people saw that. But you said, if he goes in this game and he wins, it's his net.
Oh, done, dude.
And that happened. We have back-to-back shutties in the year of our Lord 2025 by Stuart Skinner in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's if you were watching games 1 and 2 against the Kings, you would go, it is night for the Oilers in game 5 in 5 games, and Stuart Skinner will never play again.
Yeah,
he might
dude.
never play for this team
Dude,
again.
he's off the Oilers, and the Oilers are out of the playoffs, and he's off the Oilers for sure.
Yeah. So I'm flabbergasted, Chris.
Yep.
Flabbergasted.
A couple things. The McDavid back check in the first period.
Terrifying.
It was Pietrangelo, I think, and someone else. The McDavid back check in the first period was it was terrifying in the immediate aftermath, but once he was up, it was so fucking sick because you're up 3-1. If you lose this game at home, you kind of don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Or sorry, if you lose this game on the road in Vegas, you kind of don't give a fuck because you're going home. And it's the first period. Like if they get a goal here, whatever. Maybe you go give it a hard back check and like be whacking them.
Yeah.
McDavid goes fucking fastest skater competition, gets down, breaks it up. Like literally that pass from, I think it was Pietrangelo, gets to Cowden maybe. And it's McDavid lifting his stick as he has the puck on his tape in the slot and then goes head fucking first into the end wall at Mach 3. And I just saw that end Jack Hughes' career. Dude, like, it's like,
Such a twat.
How many times can his collarbone be shattered?
Yeah.
And McDavid's really slow to get up.
Yeah.
And then comes over to the bench, dude.
He's got a little bit of like sexy blood on his mouth.
He did the door because I was like, he can't even get over the bench. And I thought he was going to go straight to the tunnel. Not be done necessarily. I just thought he was going to go to the tunnel and get everything checked. How we doing? Rotator cuff. He just sits down. Trainer's trying to talk to him. He's looking straight down, doesn't give a fuck. Looks up, fucking both lips bleeding, fucking blood on his teeth like a drunk chick lipstick, fucking spitting on the ground. And I was like, dude, this fucking guy, man. Yeah. Like that, if I was an Oilers fan, that would fire me up just looking at him right there.
Yeah. It continues this theme of we keep thinking it's going to be Connor and Leon doing it all, but here we are again. I mean, I know we had a Leon OT win, but we're in a game where it's not your big guys scoring the only goal, or goals, and taking you to the next round. And I just have to say we'll get our daily Oilers glazing out in this episode, because as we've said, this team is inevitable.
Get your passports ready.
Get your passports ready. Cactus Club. Actually, I got a DM from an Oilers fan who was like, dude, you said that Cactus Club's the only good place to go. I'm taking UNCP under my wing. I'm showing you all. He goes, our food scene is off the charts.
What?
Now, I don't agree with you. That feels like an Edmonton person thing to say. But
they're fun bars.
I will tell you what, brother. I'll go anywhere. I will go anywhere. And we did go to that sick ass.
There are two
no
gas bars.
Forget the bars. We did go to one sick restaurant that I'm forgetting, and I'll remember. But either way, brother, take me under your wing.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to rock.
I'm so down.
Before we get into the double wrister of Edmonton, what a fucking pathetic display by Vegas. I don't want to sewer these guys because we have friends on this team, but I'm sure they would be the first to show. I can't even think about talking to Jack after this. And man, I was about to say I couldn't imagine being a fan of this team and watching what I just watched, but I sure can because I'm a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
This is so similar.
Yep.
This was just 5 games, and frankly, the one you won was so fucking crazy and lucky.
Yeah, dude. Holy
This
shit.
was 5 games of the biggest hot steaming bowl of doo-doo water I have ever seen. They fucking sucked.
Yep.
Every game. And Oilers fans, I know, gripping the steering wheel right now, being like, give the Oilers credit. We do every day, and we're going to in this episode. But can we also just acknowledge when someone plays like shit? You have Stu Skinner in a mental prison in back-to-back games, and I don't want to say let him shut you out because Stu shut you out.
Yep.
But also, you got less than 30 shots in both games. You got 24 shots through overtime
At
in
home.
an elimination game at home. That is bad hockey. That's not just the Oilers playing great. That is bad fucking hockey. I'm beside myself with how pathetic this series has been by the Vegas Golden Knights.
Bruce Cassidy made a comment. Either Cap said it to us, repeating him, or he said it live. I can't remember. But he said he was maybe shocked or disappointed or one of those adjectives about the lack of urgency Vegas showed in Game 4. He was like, I cannot believe that that's how this team comes out. And to be clear, dude, sometimes this is a sign of losing a room. And I'm not being like, they got to fire him or whatever. But you're right. On what universe do you not come out harder, stronger, faster in Game 4 and certainly in this game? To Vegas's credit, I thought the third period of this game, they were really good. But how do you, at one point the shots were like 18-8 against Oilers. This is an elimination game, dude. Pack your lockers. Come back. You only come back to T-Mobile in 2 days to pack your shit if you lose this game. And they just come out with no jump. And that is either a failure of Butch or a failure of the leadership in the room. I think PK said it, you got Stoner out. That's a game where you could go, we're dead, or you rally around it. You go, let's get this one, dude. He'll be back in Game 6. Let's fucking get this one.
Yeah.
Dude, there was nothing. They were giving me nothing. Except the baffling part is in the third period, I'm like, oh yeah, there they are. You're better. So it's like they are so confusing because it looks like, I wrote this down in my notes, dude. Vegas, watching them in the playoffs, the entire playoffs, gave me no belief that they were going to win the game while watching the game.
Zero.
Like, even the games they won, they beat the Wild 4 times. They beat the Oilers once. In almost all those wins, maybe except for Game 5, one of those Wild games they played well when they were coming back. Maybe 4 or 5 or something. But when I watch these Vegas games in the playoffs, I'm like, oh, you're dead. I don't know how you're going to score unless you get a power play. I don't know how the defense/Hill is going to keep enough out of the net. I don't know how you're going to get enough sustained pressure to swing the momentum. They, at no point, made me feel like they could win a hockey game in the playoffs.
I was about to motherfuck you to high heaven and call you an idiot fool for saying you were so impressed with their third period, because that is exactly how I felt.
Yep.
I was like, you never threatened this game. I never thought that you were going to score. I never thought that you had a chance. And I know maybe I need to recalibrate and not be so obsessed with 30 goals or
30 shots.
Why do I keep fucking saying that? I've said 30
Did you?
goals. Yeah, I said it yesterday, I think.
Jesus.
I need to stop being so obsessed with 30 shots. Maybe. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, no, I don't. That's the
You're
standard of a
JR
good
today, dude.
Yeah, get shots
pucks
on net. What? Look at the fucking Florida game today.
Yeah.
And I just think you're 9 shots in a do or die game at home in a period where it's all or nothing, and you fucking know deep in your core, if you go to overtime against the Edmonton Oilers, the Oilers of Edmonton,
Yep.
you are fucking losing.
Dude, I wrote down. I promise you. Remember this. Somebody clip this. I promise you. I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the way in terms of who's winning what, but I promise you the Edmonton Oilers will not lose an overtime game in these playoffs. It will not happen. It will not and cannot happen. They are too good, too many things coming at you too fast. They've got good conditioning. They've rolling lines. They're going fucking depth.
Yep.
The Oilers will not lose an overtime game in this playoffs. I promise you that. They've got something cooking there. They're like the fucking Panthers, whatever year that was, the Boston 10 year, you know?
Yeah.
They will not lose an overtime game all playoff.
Correct. So if you're Vegas in that third period, I would have borderline pulled the goalie.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious.
I know.
You've got fucking Stu Skinner, who has, at that point, damn near 6 shutout periods against you.
Yep.
You have to get one by him, or you're dead. And obviously, I wouldn't have pulled the goalie, but you had to throw everything in the kitchen sink, throw the kitchen counter at the guy, and just
the
to
knives out. Get throwing knives out
to get 9 shots on the cage and be like, well, we gave it a good effort. Get fucked.
Yeah, they were good in the third. I liked their third period, but it's way too late. It's ridiculous.
And I'm not saying get fucked you.
Yeah.
Which is a surprise. But I'm saying get fucked Vegas.
Yeah.
And to your point, dude, I think we're for sure having a bye-bye Cassidy conversation.
I fear that's in the cards, dude.
For sure.
Like, that can't be what that group
I mean,
is
he
giving.
shows up and they win a cup. Amazing. But we've got, kind of follows Butch wherever he goes. We've got plenty of stories of players being like, I do not really like his coaching style, but whatever, you want a cup. But then last year was a failure. Mm-hmm. All the players were like, what the fuck are we not doing in the playoffs still? And then this garbage?
After a lot of talk about like, we were actually going to win the cup. We're the best team.
I mean, this was awful. And if you look at it too, man, look at the average age of this team. It's close to 30.
Yeah.
If you look at their core, it is much older than maybe people think, because I think a lot of people think about Jack Eichel. They're like, Jack Eichel is this team, but it is not a young team.
Yep.
And you now have 2, in my opinion, really bad playoff performances, and you also have something people are unawares of. That was a...
Yeah, that was close. Unaware.
No, it was a quote.
Oh, I don't gotta get it.
What is that quote? Come on, help me, so I don't sound like a fucking
Unawares
idiot.
of?
We sneak in, unassuming and unawares.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
I'll figure it out.
Yep,
It'll
you'll
come
get
to
it.
me.
You'll get it. Oh, fuck.
You were close.
I almost just had it.
You'll get it while I talk.
Yep.
Jack Eichel has 1 year left on his deal after the season.
Yep. No. He lost it there.
Bye.
No way.
Bye-bye.
Dude, they'll retool.
Look at me. Bye-bye. If you don't have a good summer, as far as grabbing guys, if I know from what we know, Ikes has a good relationship with Cassidy, but who knows after these 2 years? I don't know, man. I think that the only thing that would be keeping him there, as far as I'm concerned, is probably Hannafin. Hannafin signed through 2028. Yep. That's his boy.
That's his boy.
Kind of came there.
No state
in big
tax.
part for Jack. But
He'll be the captain of that team soon, dude.
I would not be shocked in the slightest if we go through an entire summer and season of Jack Eichel not signing, because he's like, well, I'm going to see.
I would hear that, but it's a good take. But I would hear that, but I still think there'll be probably a coaching change. There's going to be a lot of retooling about on the roster. You're 100% right. But that would be crazy if he bounced, and that would be a fucking mistake, dude. A mistake. I'll tell you that. Yeah. What I wanted to ask you about in terms of the Oilers, you wrote this down. I thought this was an incredible stat. Knobloch 16-2 in games 4 through 7. Fucking nuts. And
Dude,
got to scare
nuts.
scare the sack off you if you're any team that has to play them moving forward. I wonder what's the loss? He lost game 7.
Well, game 7 of the final.
Yep. He must have lost a game 6 somewhere.
Yeah,
or no, it's 4-7. So he must have lost one of those other ones.
5s probably.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's undefeated in 4s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gas, dude. That's gas. But I also saw today Oilers power play over 14 on the road, which is very interesting because I don't know how many times I've said it, but it's like, Jesus Christ, that used to be such a weapon. So I do think they will need that in the next round. Like, I think if they go completely ghost on the power play against, it looks like Dallas, but maybe Winnipeg too, I think that's going to be a real problem. The biggest question I need answered, and the good news is we're going to get an answer. Some of life's mysteries, Dan, you'll never find out the truth. Is there a massive column of wealth and treasure under the Great Pyramids? Yes, obviously. Were the pyramids built by the aliens? Yes, obviously. These are things we will find out, or we already do know. And here's another thing that I'm excited to find out for sure.
Yep. To be absolutely certain of.
The other thing I'm going to become absolutely certain of. The Kings, it felt like completely malfunctioned after games 1 and 2.
It's the spiral ice.
Yep. They went spiral ice.
Edmonton is spiral ice, and they hypnotize you and make you forget how to play hockey. It's fucking crazy.
So then Vegas completely malfunctioned. And I think, and I probably should already say it's confirmed, but I think in the next round we're going to find out if it's something Edmonton is doing or if the teams that have played them so far are just, the pressure got to them or whatever. Because sometimes when it's a team tactic, it's clearer in my eyes, if you know what I'm saying. The devil's trap of the early 2000s, things like that, where you're like, oh, there's a thing happening that what they are doing is making you bad. You're not able to play your game because of this. And I'm having a hard time watching the Oilers games and identifying, oh, the Oilers are doing this, and that's why you're bad. It's not their special teams are killing you, or they're running this certain forecheck or whatever, or even like they're rolling lines in a way you can't hang with. Maybe they would argue that's what it is, but I am really interested to see if either Dallas or Winnipeg gets to the next round, what we say about the first few games. If we're like, God, Dallas/Winnipeg looks like they've never played hockey before, because then it's officially 100% what the Oilers are doing. And I don't know what it is, but it's 100% they are doing something awesome.
Yep. I mean, it's weird that we can't figure it out, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And I'm not saying that we're these great brains over here, but no one can figure it out. How many people picked Vegas? And I picked Edmonton in this series because I was like, I can't figure out what they're doing, but they're clearly doing something. And props to Knobloch for what you said for the in-series adjustments. He didn't really have to adjust shit in this one.
Yeah.
But in the Kings one, great example of massive adjustments that we can see or not see that change the tides of the series. So I feel like we look at so many people who we respect, that the general hockey community loves and respects. JR being one of them, who was like, I thought the Kings were going to beat the Oilers. I thought Vegas was going to beat the Oilers. There is something that they are doing that Knobloch and these players need to be knighted for.
Yeah.
No pun intended, Golden Knights. Sorry, not dancing on graves. But they need to be given so much respect for because they are completely breaking down teams.
Dude, they put this graphic up, so if you watched the game, you saw this. Vegas Golden Knights, top 5 goal scorers in the regular season. Dorofeev, 35. Thomas Hertl, 32. Jack Eichel, 28. Ivan Barbashev, 23. Brett Howden, 23. Those 5 guys' goals this series, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
You cannot win like that.
Nope. You won't win a game. You're lucky you did.
And you were playing up until game 4, you were playing against goalies that have a combined goals against of like 4.8. A combined, like probably the worst tandem goals against in the playoffs.
Not probably.
And your top 5 goal scorers don't have a goal. So something's going on. And again, it's either, Christ, we were gripping the stick and choking, or the Oilers did something sick. I do want to say before we leave this series, Aiden Hill, I'm glad he played better. He had a couple big stops.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up. This is a shutout. If you get through periods with no goals, you pitched a shutout. Like, you got a shutout. You're looking at your team, and the guys that you just mentioned, Chris, with zeros across the board, you give up 0 goals in 3 periods, and you're looking at them and going, what do you want from me, guys?
Yep.
What do you want? You're getting outshot, too.
And then there was one stretch at the end where Eichel dangled Wallman, and then slid one across to Howden, and I think someone got a stick on it, but it like just jumped over Howden's stick, open net basically, backdoor open net, and then it turned around into a Draisaitl breakaway 20 seconds later, and Hill saved that. And then there was also a fucking McDavid Hyman 2-on-1 late that Hanifin played actually some of the sickest D I've ever seen on a 2-on-1.
Yeah,
like
that was
waving and
nasty.
sticking to the
That
lane,
was
still got
nasty.
it on McDavid, but Hill still had to save that. So he made some huge saves down the stretch. That being said, that OT goal is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. It literally looked like a video game glitch, you know, in like just like a player is like
we watched
like,
the replay,
he's
and
like
you and I
losing.
were both like,
and I'm like, hey, get up, dude. Like it's literally when you go, yo, that doesn't count. We're resetting the game because like my player glitched. The whole game glitched, and he slid out of the net for no reason.
Yeah.
And I blame everybody. Like McNabb was there, Hill was there. It was just sitting there.
It was
the goal went in from behind the net. Someone hit it in from behind the net.
When I mean, watching that, I get the momentum with Hill. I'll maybe give him a pass, but we were like, what are you doing?
Move.
And then the McNabb one, we were both at the same time like, McNabb, fucking clear it out. Do anything.
Oh my God, it's fucking insane. But ticket punch, dude. Ticket punched back to the Western Conference Finals.
Ticket punched back, as I predicted, not in 5, but and I'm not saying proud. I was just saying I picked them, and it's another one of these things where they won this series not at all how I thought they would win.
Yep.
Not at all how I think most people. I don't think Oilers fans would have predicted this.
Agree. I think they were ready for a really hard series.
Definitely. And I think going into this game, plenty of them went, we're going to close it out. We've got Vegas on the ropes, which I thought too. But I don't think they would have predicted this. Another Skinner shutout.
Oh, so sick.
It is the breakdown will be interesting. I doubt we'll ever hear what exactly the players think in media, in responses. Because I'm fascinated to know.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated to know if they're like, oh no, dude, that team, they figured something out in these playoffs. They clicked in playoffs after those 2 games in LA, and they figured it out and they do X, Y, and Z. Or if they go, dude, we shit the bed.
Yeah.
We totally shit the bed. I would kill to figure that
Yep.
out. Now we have another insane game of the night.
Yes, we do.
And I mean, man, I think I'm going to be more animated about this series, but I would have never guessed I would be this animated about both.
Yeah. We received message from an OG Netters fan, Doc Negus, that said, can't wait to hear what the Powers boys think about Toronto in Game 5. And Doc, to quote in tone, I'm sure he said this verbatim at one point, but to quote in tone, a dear friend of all of ours, Mike Dots Doherty.
A lot of homeboy shout-outs right now.
Embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment. In front of the home crowd in a game that this morning, JR was like, this is probably the biggest game of those guys' careers. Literally. Chris Pronger said that on the broadcast too. These guys, that might have been the biggest game of their career.
Without question. To me, it is certainly the biggest game of Austin Matthews' career because he wears the C this season, because he has no goals in round 2.
Yep.
I don't think he has a goal in round 2 in his life.
He doesn't.
And that was a massive, massive game for him.
Embarrassment. Holy hell, dude. So it was a pretty much nightmare game from start to finish because they were getting pounded in the first 2, but you weren't dead in the first. So it was kind of like you just got to get to the room, because I thought Wall was actually pretty good again in the first. You know, so you're like, all right,
yeah,
whatever.
I agree.
Like, because the Panthers were pounding them and peppering them with shots. The one that went in was a ridiculous puck zooming around, Ekblad on edge, like, you know, it was madness in the zone there. So I think you were kind of okay. Willie missed another fucking breakaway. What do you think his problem is? Missing breakaways. Most breakaway goals in the regular season. 0 for 3 goals in the play. 0 for 3 breakaways.
Yeah, and I'm a big Willie guy.
Is there a chance, Dan, that it's because he's all Swedish?
No finish.
And no finish.
He is the wrong nationality.
Is there a chance that that's the reason?
Spuddy, I'll tell you, there's always a chance that that's the case. I think it's a Bob thing.
Okay, I think
Bob woke up. We woke Bob up.
Yeah, we did. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Panthers
Alarm
fans.
clock.
You're welcome, Bob. We woke Bob up, and I think he's locked in big time.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? The weight of the world, the weight of Toronto is on William Nylander's shoulders.
Yep.
So I tweeted during this game, William Nylander is playing at a speed and a level of intensity 2x. So actually, someone yelled at me for that. They were like, I don't like that fucking young person jargon.
What?
It's for saying X instead of times. 2 times more than the rest of his teammates.
Yeah.
And I think he's feeling the pressure. He's like, what the fuck more do you need me to do, guys?
Dude, what do you think gets Bob going? Because I would say for the first 7 periods of this series, maybe even 8, he was not. Bob dead, dude. We waved goodbye to Bob. We said Bob was in Cancun.
But now, but I wanted to be clear. 'Cause some fans got mad. We weren't saying the series is over. We were saying in those games, like Bob was.
But I was
mentally
saying Bob is checked out of this, and he's not going to be able to give you, 6, 5, and 5, 6 scoreless periods.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be winning games 4-3, 5-4.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. So I actually think Bob. There's a chance, Dan, that Bob has a trigger word. Like he's a Manchurian candidate.
He's a winter soldier.
He's a winter soldier.
He is Russian.
What do you think it is that triggers Bob? Because he was not here, dude. Bob not here. And now Bob here.
Word, dude, he definitely has one.
I'm just wondering what that might be to get him going.
Yeah. It's going to be something South Florida specific.
Okay, I think because all his playoff shutouts have been in Florida.
Yeah. I think it might be the cool zone. Maybe cool zone.
Someone says cool zone.
The cold zone.
Oh, okay.
It's the cold
yeah.
zone.
Someone says cold. They go, God, we've been brutal.
Yeah.
Team could use a party.
It's
Like we should do post game beers at the cold zone.
Yeah.
Bob's
Goes,
like
red eye, like a quick red, like a Terminator eye.
Can see speed and angle of every shot. Dude, the flex, he's like, that's an 87 flex angle of blade.
Yeah.
Place blocker here. Cold zone.
That's all going through his head.
I think that's
For those who don't know, in Amrat, there's a cold zone. It's the greatest bar in the National.
Correct.
With the greatest
staff.
With the greatest ladies in the world.
Yep.
And we know that's where the party's at.
That's
where you're feeling your best.
Do you think they forgot to say cold zone? Because they said it to him last year.
I think they don't.
Saving it.
I think Bob can win without the trigger word.
Yeah, they were like, we're fine. It's the Leafs. And then they lost 2.
They underestimated the Leafs because this Leafs team is great.
Yep.
And then they lost 2 and they went, okay.
Dude, after the second game, Bob goes to get his last sip of water. Goes like this. Empty.
Yeah.
Unscrews water bottle. Piece of paper inside.
He doesn't even need to hear it. He can read it too.
Yep. Piece of paper inside. Pulls out paper. Folded 8 times. Unfold. Boom. Cold zone. Actually, maybe it's in it's like reverse. You hold it in front of a mirror. He pulls up the paper. He goes, well, I can't read this. This is back. Well, I can barely read English. This is backwards English. Goes home. What do I do? Holds it up in front of the mirror. Cold zone. Activated. Can only see red. 2 straight shutties, basically.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot.
Says you, dude. Why don't we talk to him? When we get to Florida, why don't we talk to him? You're going to fucking walk up and say cold zone in front of him, turn it off.
I was in.
And then you get the whole fan. Now you're public enemy number 1.
I was on board. You had me. And then you had to get so crazy.
That's crazy.
Why would you fold it that many times? Presumably, if it's a guy on his team getting him going, why would you make him do that much work?
Because if you, what if it got into enemy hands?
They don't have a trigger word.
Well, it's the same one, dude. It turns them on, turns them off. So it had to be, you know why it was so small, dude? It had to be edible immediately in an emergency. Gone. What if it's a fucking loose leaf sheet of paper where you're going to crumple it up and swallow it? It needs to be bite-sized so it can disappear.
Your brain is a special place.
It needs to be bite-sized.
It's a special, special place.
Cold zone.
Isn't it crazy that we're going to stay on this team in this series, obviously, but isn't it crazy that right now, no disrespect to the Canes, who look phenomenal, no disrespect to Dallas, who looks phenomenal, and no disrespect to Washington or Winnipeg, who are still in the playoffs.
Yeah, they are.
And no disrespect to Toronto, who could win this series still. But it is crazy that right?
Yeah.
Totally. It is crazy that it's just like Edmonton and Florida. It's all of a sudden just like this, and we're back,
dude.
And it looks also, CP, that we're in this like late 2000s Detroit Red Wings, Pittsburgh Penguins clash rivalry. I'm like, Edmonton and Florida is about to become this great rivalry that we talk about for years in the NHL. Crazy.
So funny. I was telling Dan off camera a while ago that if you, and Rangers fans are going to be so pissed, but if you kind of go, I actually thought the Canes were going to should have beat the Rangers last year in that second round matchup. They did not. But if the Canes had won that, it's Canes, Florida, Edmonton, Dallas in the conference finals. Mm-hmm. And that's what it looks like. A ton can still happen. Yeah. And I'm rooting for a ton to happen.
Yeah.
But that's what it looks like. We're just going to get that for those 4 teams. And even if you want to be like, well, they didn't win, the Rangers won. I'm like, okay, then 4 of take the 5 best teams last year, 4 of them went to the conference finals, and then the 4 this year are in that same 5. Which I feel like we don't see that often. I went back in the West because that one could be the same. And it was 2013. It was that Hawks Kings, which flipped, by the way, the winners of that one.
True.
But yeah, so it's been a while since you get like a repeat conference finals, and you're almost getting both on both sides. So kind of crazy.
This game, we talked about Vegas, Edmonton.
Yep.
Feeling like it was never in Vegas's hands.
Yep.
We watched this game top to tit. This game felt the same way.
Give me the second word you guessed when I asked you. I said I was going to say one word to start Vegas Oilers. I said one word. You guessed 2 words. Both were wrong. Give me the second one again, because it can apply to here.
Stinky.
Yeah, dude, that was it. And not only were they losing by a lot, but also it was turnovers from their best players. Just being so sloppy. Wait, dude, you look like a bunch of swordsmen. Olay. Waving the stick around. Firing the puck into the middle of the ice. No look. Hope play here. Hope play there. They all are ending up in the back of your net because you're playing the champs in the fucking playoffs.
I'm going to protect your intelligence really quick, and I'm just going to let listeners know that Olay is a quote from an idiot coach that our friend Evan had. It's not you thinking that a swordsman says Olay. Don't get mad at CB for that. Get mad at him for all the other dumb things that he does.
Yeah.
I could not believe. Again, first period, get the Ekblad goal, kind of a nip.
Yeah, on edge.
It was
and quick.
Sick.
Quick trigger. Quick release there.
Getting all the DMs of Cats fans wearing the elbow room tees. Like, it's people's elbow room tees are showing up.
That's awesome.
And they've been wearing them to these home games. I loved that goal.
Yep.
And like we said, I was like, oof, dude, this Florida is very much in control. And then the second period starts, and I'm like, well, let's see how you respond, boys. And then Kulikov scores. And then, to reference what you just said, the Boqvist goal was the biggest dipshit play by Mitch Marner. Shout out Avery calling it out online.
Yep.
But this little avoids the contact along the sidewall, throws this cheeky, cunty backhand,
helicopter, no look,
spinorama backhand pass straight through the neutral zone that gets picked off, and then an odd man rush, and then Boqvist was his guy.
Yeah. Dude,
and
I had my guy.
just roasted for the goal, and you're now down 3-0, and that Scotiabank turned into a fucking monastery.
Scotiabank Library.
The Scotiabank Public Library.
You know what I want to say about that, though? Because I wrote that down too, Dan. The Scotiabank Library gets chirped a lot. And remember last year when people were fucking motherfucking the Panthers fans for being like, oh, it's silent in there. And my counter is, I see both sides of it, but when you are getting pummeled in a playoff game, what do you want them to do? Like, and I get, you're like, I want them to pick us up. I want them to be cheering hard for us. But I'm like, dude, you are giving me no effort on the ice. It's 4-0. I'm leaving. Or I'm going to sit here and cry into my beer, which is fine too. But just fuck off with the, like, oh, they should have been louder and more fired up for the boys. Give me something to fucking cheer about. Thank you.
For real. It was a great quote.
Yep.
Doesn't make up for what he's doing on the ice.
Yep.
But I said to you, and I'm not... We never try to shit talk here. We genuinely try to ask questions that we are thinking. And I want your opinion. Mm-hmm. Do you think in a situation like this, you're at home when you're better than you guys have ever felt, and you get rinsed 6-rip and then get a consolation goal? Do you think these guys go, fuck me, we lost again? I'm being serious.
I don't know, dude.
Like, do you think they head back to Florida on Friday and go, fuck? Or do you think that they're motherfucking each other? They're getting pumped up. Oh, I know Berube's going to try to do that, but I'm sure Berube tried to pump them up for this game, and how the fuck did that go? How did that go, pal? So I need to know. Dude. I genuinely need to know.
I think they go, we're a great team, and we can win. We've proven we can beat them. But, dude, there's just so much baggage. There's so much fucking baggage. Like, that must have been the most misoid locker room, knowing that the Toronto media, starving to death like hungry hippos, waiting to fucking devour these kids, were just sitting by the doors waiting for you. That must have sucked. So I think all that shit comes with it. You get pummeled, and you're like, okay, great. Now I have to go talk to these vultures. And it just piles on and weighs on you and sucks you down into the abyss. That's what I think happens to them.
It might be that. And I like that take. But you would think they'd want the fuck out. But then Mitch last year says that he's like, we're gods here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't deserve to be if this is the mentality. I mean, I defend Mitch Marner's play every day. Mm-hmm. People talk shit about him and his playoff performances, blah, 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 blah. And I am here to remind people all the time that he's an elite NHL player. He deserves the money he's going to get paid.
Yep.
But I don't think you deserve that praise if that, and I'm saying these ifs because I don't know. But if that's your mentality, which it seems to be, why do you stay here? Why would you stay in this city if the media and the pressure is so much that you just fall apart every year? Get the fuck out.
Yep. Do you think that... I was just trying to make sure I get this game right, which game it happens in, because I think it was game 1, which is fucked. In game 1, Stoli goes out. Game 1.
Yeah.
Wall comes in. They win game 2.
Yeah.
With him in, right?
Yeah.
Like he played that whole game.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like pop, 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 pop. And he played great in game 4.
Great.
But he gets yanked in this game.
Well, game,
For game 5.
Game 4.
For Matt Murray, which I was like, oh my God.
Seeing Matt Murray enter the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2025, I was like, whoa.
Because, dude, the 4th goal, which goal was it? I think it was the Mikkola goal. What do we do? Dude, that's horrible. Like, it's horrible.
What?
That's a horrible goal.
Are you out of your mind?
Right here. He whiffs it, dude. Joe Wall goes like this and tries to catch it and just whiffs
Dude.
it. Watch the replay.
You are outside.
Dude, it's horrible.
That could have been straight in his chest hole. He stepped into that with about 500 pounds of centrifugal force and sent an absolute Finnish piss missile straight through the back of the net. I'm surprised that didn't go through the fucking twine and dent the boards.
You know Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey when he goes right through that. You simply
can't be mad at him for that.
Oh, dude, you are gonna regret this take. You literally have to save that. That is right at you. No screen, no nothing from not that close. So that was an absolute rip. If it had been anywhere that was like a reach, I would maybe hear you. But that's like he just misses it. Terrible. But he gets yanked. He's on the way to getting yanked after that. And I don't know. I mean, I know what you do, because if you're not playing Matt Murray, because if Stoli's still hurt, you're playing Wall. But I just feel like he's in shambles, dude. And I like the kid. I actually had a thought, Dan. Do you think the Leafs goalie situation, like watching Freddie Anderson just be fucking iceberg in Carolina, saving everything, do you think the Leafs goalie situation is like the Defense Against the Dark Arts job in Harry Potter, where it's just so fucking cursed and they bring in someone else, and then every bad goal you let in, everybody fucking hates you, and then you leave and you're just good?
Dude, I think about that often. I think about that with various jobs in the NHL. There's some coaching jobs.
Yeah,
I'm like, why are you taking this job?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, man. I wonder. It's very interesting.
Fuck, dude, because I really think that kid is good at goalie.
I think both of them are, and obviously Stoli
was good last year, yeah.
playing great, and got hurt. But I don't know what to say.
I know, because if he's back, like he wasn't even close, right?
Stoli,
yeah.
I can't imagine if Matt Murray had to suit up today. In what world is Stolart starting on Friday?
Yeah. Okay. This says
But I guess it's concussion
Injuries
stuff.
is red flags.
One day you're bad, one day you're fine.
That's the problem. It is like, dude, hockey's so crazy. Sidelined with an upper body injury, and I'm like,
his brain has been turned to scrambled egg.
A massive concussion. You mean upper body injury? Technically. So this says Stolar's doing much better back on the ice. Goalie not ready to return. So I think if he gets the green light, you have to start him. You have to.
Yeah.
And like, could that swing it? Maybe. I thought he was good. I thought he was good in the first round, and I think he only let in one goal maybe when he got popped. But tighten the mask up.
Yeah.
So fuck, it's a tough one, and I do think it's shitty for them, even though they believe in Joe and they should believe in Joe, and he had a good season. I do think it sucks for the Leafs that they're like this. We were rolling, we picked Stoli, we were rolling through round one, and then we were won game one, but we lose him. And then we lose 4 of the next 5. And I'm like, that shouldn't be your excuse, but it's going to be. I know it's going to be.
I think you're right. By the way, I remembered the quote, the unawares quote.
Dude, I thought it would. Well, go ahead.
But it's Pirates.
Oh, nice.
It's the 2 funny guys.
Yeah.
The one with the wooden eye, the bald one. And he goes, the Pirates come out unprepared and unawares. Boom.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I thought my guess was going to be Mundungus Fletcher.
Ooh.
Because it just looked and sounded like that guy.
Yeah. Looks like
that's
when
I was like, oh.
Well, it definitely looks like it.
Yeah. Can I give you 2 sick stats from friends and commenters?
Please.
This was right before the Leafs scored to make it 6-1, which I actually think wasn't a nothing goal. Just nice to see one go by, Bob, if you're the Leafs.
Yep.
The Panthers had scored 12 of the last 13 goals in the series. I'm like, wrong, incorrect. Fuck. And then this was a comment, Dan. I thought this was amazing from Adrian. It says, here's a stat for the pod tomorrow, boys. Kucherov and Matthews are both on 10-game goose egg goal streaks in the playoffs against the Cats. Can we please start showing love to the Finnish John Wick, number 16 on the ice, number 1 in our hearts, fucking Alexander Barkov.
Dude, I will do that, Adrian, but I'm also going to demand equal respect goes to Lundell.
Yep.
Because don't forget, Lundell matches up against Austin.
All night.
So, yeah, 15 and 16 are
that's crazy.
People.
10-game, both of them for Cooch and Matthews. Holy fuck.
It's nuts, man. I mean, that game, I don't want to sound like a broken fucking record here, but I have no idea how to respond to that game. And in my opinion, this actually sounds terrible based on what just happened. The Jack Eichel quote of going, I don't believe in momentum carrying over to games. Every game's a new game. Get your fucking shit sorted and take care of business.
Wrong.
Well, Stuart Skinner just shut you guys out twice in a row, so that sucks. This feels to me like a performance where I cannot possibly see this Toronto Maple Leafs group come back down to Sunrise and go, shake it off.
Dude, you know what I mean? Like, dude, maybe
rinse it out, boys.
Dude, what if maybe they should get loose?
Get loose, dude.
The Leafs should get loose and then do a beach workout. Go for a beach run, look at some babes, get down. They should be there already, Dan. They should fly right now. I hope they're already in the air. On the way to Florida. They wake up tomorrow, they shake it out, they get loose, do a little goat yoga. That's an interesting one. What if they did some goat yoga and then play some Taylor Swift? That's her, right? Is that her?
Yeah, Shake It Off, right? Yeah, she's got Shake It Off song.
You play some Taylor Swift, you do some goat yoga, you get loose, get a tan.
Yeah, I mean, because listen, I'm not saying that Toronto can't get back in the series, force Game 7 and win. They could, but it just I feel it's going to take a lot of Taylor Swift and a lot of goat yoga because I'm telling you, this is not a team historically or by the looks of it right now that is just going to get all loosey goosey.
Yep,
just chill out. And play a game down in Sunrise. It really does not feel like that.
What a sick place to end your season, though. I think I would miss the team playing. I'd be like, yeah, I'll get myself back. I'll see it. Give me the leave. Put my bag in the locker. Put my bag in the locker.
I would give my bag. I would pack it myself, and I would give it to the equipment manager, and I would look at Craig Berube, and I would go, Hags.
Yeah, dude, Hags.
And then I would get in an Uber or a Waymo. I don't know if they have those in Florida yet. And I would go, 211, sir.
Yep.
And I would go straight to Miami. I would go to 11.
Yep.
And I would literally not leave for 2 straight days.
Correct. I would go. I'd give them 3 credit cards, and I'd go use this one first.
And when this,
when
I get an alert from American Express to stop charges on this, go to this one.
You move to this one, and then this one is my debit. The PIN is 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
And take what you need.
And when
I'll be in the corner.
When I get the 2-factor authentication, the password is PASSWORD.
I'll be in the corner.
All lowercase. And then when that doesn't work, here's a collection of Dave & Buster's gift cards that I have in my
Joe
wallet.
Stone Crab. Boom. Get some dinner. Pop back in.
I just...
Do you think they did that on purpose, Dan? Do you think they won the first 2 games to go, this guarantees us a Game 6 loss in Florida? Was that the motivation?
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's not motivation. If you're going to lose, I'd rather lose there.
Here's one more question for you.
If you're going to lose a series when you have the home ice advantage, I'd rather work it out. So you lose on the road, and you're in Sunrise, Florida. You got some fun stuff to do. Maybe you go right down to Elbow Room. I don't know. I would rather do that than face the music in the city of Toronto.
Here's one more question for you. Was going down 0-2 the best thing that could happen to the Panthers? Because I do think it kind of knocked them into a new gear. Or was going up 2-0 the worst thing that could happen to the Leafs? Because I think the hype train went fucking insane. I'm getting texts from Toronto people like, see you here, dude. Let's go, like we can go to dinner. I'll make the res. And I'm like, chill. I think there's a chance that going up 2-0 was a fucking death blow for the Leafs.
Oh, it's possible.
That's 1-1 going to Florida.
It is possible. I think it's more so
because it became you can't lose now. It became you can't lose now.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think it was more so what the Cats needed.
Yeah, might be
than it was a death blow for Toronto. Because if Toronto went down 0-2, this chatter's even worse. Because they would have been swept.
I know, but dude, blowing the 2-0 lead.
And can you believe the shit-eating grin from the OT man himself in Game 3 that Brad Marchand was giving those Toronto fans as he walked the tunnel after he got kicked out of the game?
I can't fathom what he must be saying.
And I can't fathom what they must be thinking, looking at their boogeyman, looking at the Grim Reaper, just staring at them going, welcome to the fucking show.
Yeah, his shit talk on the ice must be...
I own your souls. I have seen your heart, Toronto, and it is mine.
Yeah.
That is legitimately what he is thinking.
Oh, dude, he must be relentless out there right now. Oh, sorry, you thought you were done with me, dude? Get fucked. I'll go wherever you go. You can't get away.
I can't
They'll make an exception. If you come back and beat me here, they'll make an exception. They'll trade me to Carolina. I'll beat your ass in the next round.
I can't imagine the power that one must feel.
Yeah. That's absolutely insane. Okay, let's take another quick break.
Yes, let's hear from some more of our sponsors. When it comes to the Empty Netter's favorite beer, hockey's favorite beer, and what needs to be your favorite beer, there is only one answer. It's Labatt Blue. Listen to me right now. We are in the middle of one of the craziest Stanley Cup playoffs sessions of all time, and that requires some stress relief. It requires a nice, refreshing, crispy beer, and the answer is Labatt Blue. It is brewed with Canadian kindness, and you know there is no kindness like that in the rest of the world. So you've got to go with Labatt. And Labatt Blue Light if you want to stay light on your feet while we're watching all of these games. Listen to me. When you're drinking a beer, you want it to be nice and cold and refreshing, make you feel good, make you kick your feet up and relax after a crazy hard day while you're just chilling or, let's be honest, watching some hockey. So grab some Labatts right now, stock up the fridge, go to your favorite pub, make sure it's on tap, and just enjoy it because that's the only thing that you feel every single time you have a bottle, can, or pint of Labatt Blue or Labatt Blue Light. Get on board today because, like I said, needs to be all of our favorite beer. Labatt is the option. Before we move on to our game, we've got a quick coaching carousel rundown to get into. First up, as predicted.
Yes.
By your boy.
We got to find that clip.
I know.
Did you
I
ever
have
find
to find
it?
it. No, I didn't find it. Rick Tocchet has been named the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers, 25th head coach in the history. Obviously, he played there in the beginning of his career, then in the end of his career.
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of saw this one coming. Actually, Fuck that. I'm going to give myself more credit. Only me.
Yeah, true. Do you like it? You called it, but do you like that hire?
I like it. I think Talk is the man.
Yeah.
He obviously won the Jack Adams a couple of years ago with Van.
Yep.
To me, I can't tell if Talk is a great coach or if he's just so beloved by everyone in the league. I've yet to see the like.
We know it's the latter.
Yeah,
Is it also the former?
Yes. We know it's the latter.
Yep.
Talk. We love Talk. The players love Talk. Coaches love Talk. Media loves Talk. Talk's the best. I don't know if he's a great coach yet. I think he probably has it in him. And this Van shit show is such a bummer to me.
I know.
The fact that he came in and took that team from non-playoffs to so good, and then a hurt goalie situation fucked them in the playoffs, and then that hurt goalie situation carried over into this season, and you had the disaster that was JT and Elias. I'm willing to give him a pass.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he does with the many young, talented players in Philly. It's a town he knows, it's a town he loves, and they love him. I can see this going really well.
Yeah, I think I could. It's weird. It's one of those things where you're like, the culture of teams, I hate. I hate that idea.
Yeah.
Where it's like, they even said that this past summer with the Bees, where it's like the big bad Bruins got big and bad on D again, and now this is what they do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, your culture should be we're good at hockey. And I don't care if you transition to like a high-flying Connor McDavid team. Like, who gives a fuck? Are you good at hockey? And there should be a culture in the room of accountability and stuff that the Bergerons and the Charas created. You shouldn't lose that. But I don't like when teams draft and sign free agents based on this like identity that they had once a long time ago. And I do think that the Flyers have always been that, right? The Broad Street Bullies, like that's their MO. And Talk, to me, comes with that attitude, that energy. And I'm not sure the roster justifies that. I hear that. I don't want this Philly roster to be the Broad Street Bullies. So I'm like, okay, I hope you can fuck with that. And I hope you can be like, yo, Mitchkov, go. You are unleashed, dude. Do whatever you want. Like literally the Bedard treatment. I don't give a fuck if you're minus 60. Go get yours and stuff like that. Versus a like, hey, we're gonna play really hard nose and below the goal lines on both ends and like battle and be responsible defensively. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's a fair point.
So
dude.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's a fair point.
And yeah, so that's kind of my take on that.
I like it, honestly. And I it's funny how we're kind of we're like this. We're not really sure which way the seesaw is going. On the other side, Van promotes Adam Foote, head coach of the team.
Yep.
For me, Quinn Hughes, big fan.
Yeah, loves him.
Really, I mean, listen, he works a lot with the defense. He's an iconic defenseman, Stanley Cup winning defenseman, great player. Quinn, I think there's a quote calling him, he's like a teacher. He's like, he really nurtures us as players, wants us to be our best. That's great. I'm going to go way too inside baseball here. This, to me, feels like when Chelsea Football Club was in shambles and they brought in, after Roman Abramovich was forced to sell the team, their manager left, and then Frank Lampard, after coaching championship Derby County, was named manager and was
sick at first. Fuck the haters.
I agree. He got us top 4. It was just put in a shit and impossible position.
Yep.
Because if Adam Foote comes in here, I believe his first head coaching job ever. Can you look that up as I keep talking? But I'm pretty sure it's his first head coaching job ever. So congrats, Adam Foote, first of all. I think if he's put in this situation with a potentially career-long injury, nagging injury on Thatcher Demko, with JT leaving, now the pressure of Quinn Hughes maybe not coming back because they might have to trade him to fucking New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Who knows what PD is going to be like? It's just such a dumpster fire in Van. If he comes up into this situation and they miss playoffs again and it's just bad, and people are like, fucking Adam Foote.
Yeah.
I feel like that is not his fault.
That's not his fault.
I've heard nothing but great things about his coaching style. So I'm excited for him. I think he's got a really brutal situation in front of him.
Defensive coach for the Avs, 2011 to 2017, leaves to become head coach of the Rockets in the dub.
Uh-huh.
Then gets let go by the Rockets in 2020. In 2023, becomes assistant coach of the Canucks. And then
here we are.
Now here we are.
So first
and
time.
this is one of the few, because some of my Canucks fan friends don't love this as much. I got a lot of texts. But I am kind of like, this isn't an old boys club thing to me because it's someone getting a new shot.
Yeah.
And a guy that's kind of, not that he's put in a ton of time. Well, he kind of has actually. When you're doing the hours on the assistant side, on the defensive side, or whatever, I like when you go, you know what, dude, here you go. We could obviously go an outside hire and look at a college coach or a younger coach, but I'm like, you know what, dude, you were in here, you were in the room, you know these guys, you deserve your chance. So I kind of like to see stuff like this, and I'll be rooting for him.
I agree. I love that. Do you know off the top of your head who else is? I know Boston is open, obviously.
Oh, no.
I don't think I do either.
Tampa soon. Vegas soon.
Stop that. Let me see here. Yeah, I think Boston might. I feel so bad if I'm sewering some fan base right now.
Who's wide open.
Anyway, we will. We've had a bunch of teams fill their coaching vacancies. We have Boston left, so we'll keep an eye on that. But two big ones right there.
Yep.
Let's finish this out with a game.
Okay.
Brought to you by CP.
Yeah, correct. Game brought to you by CP. This game is called What's the Connection? And for new listeners, this one's a popular one. This is a trivia game. There are 10 trivia questions that I'm about to ask you all and Dan. And the first 9 questions have answers. And Dan will answer them as we go, but I won't say whether he's right or wrong as we go. And the 10th question is simply, what is the connection? So all the answers to the previous 9 all have one thing in common. In the past, it was last time we did this, Dan did it to me, and it was all things from the show Entourage. Like every answer was like a character from the show Entourage. We've done dog names from TV and movies, superhero alter egos, things like that. Are you ready? I think you're going to like this one a lot. And it might, sometimes you get these so easily, and this one I think you'll get, but I'm hoping there's a few curveballs in there.
I'm so ready. This is my favorite game.
Okay. Question number 1. Nikita Zadorov, Matthew Olivier, and AJ Greer were 1, 2, 3 in the league this season in a certain category, meaning they spent more time than anyone else in here, which is often shortened to just the second word.
Read it to me one more time. I think it's penalty box, but read it to me one more time.
Nikita Zadorov, Matthew Olivier, and AJ Greer were 1, 2, 3 in the league this season in a certain category.
Yeah, okay.
Meaning they spent more time than anyone else in here, which is often shortened to just the second word.
And is the answer just the second word?
Yes.
Okay, box. Moving on. Question number 2.
Question number 2. So Dan believes the answer to number 1 is box, but he doesn't know that that's right.
Yes, I do.
Question number 2. A 4-time All-Star, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, you could always count on this Vezina Trophy winner for a good save and a good laugh. His fans know him by this nickname.
Flower. That's also correct. Number 3, please.
Question number 3.
I don't know what the connection is yet, but I love it.
Winners of 5 Stanley Cups over a 7-year period. But it could have been even more had this team not traded away their captain to an emerging hockey market in the U.S.
Oilers.
Winners of 5 cups over a 7-year period. Hell of a run.
Incredible.
Hell of a run. All right, you think you got that one?
Yeah. Do I not?
I don't know. Number 4. Since their formation, the Vegas Golden Knights have had an excellent home record. Maybe it's the Vegas flu, or maybe it's the production value, or maybe it's the energy inside T-Mobile, which fans refer to as the Fortress, another word for this structure.
Castle.
Question number 5.
Oh, dude.
I
know the connection.
I
know the connection, and it is fucking sick.
In Game 1, I can't believe you already know it. In Game 1 of the 2020 playoffs, this team played the 4th longest game in NHL history, a 3-2 win in 5 overtimes with 150 minutes and 27 seconds of ice time. That good fortune set the tone on what would be a very successful playoff run.
Say it again.
In Game 1 of the 2020 playoffs, this team played the 4th longest game in NHL history, a 3-2 win in 5 overtimes and 150 minutes and 27 seconds of ice time.
Lightning. Number 6, please.
Question number 6. And I actually need you to be honest about what you thought the connection was, because I'm not sure you do know it.
Okay, yeah.
Question number 6. 2 seasons ago, several NHL players raised eyebrows when they refused to wear blank-colored jerseys, citing religious beliefs, which caused the commissioner to say the league was weighing the future of these events moving forward.
Rainbow.
Question number 7. Matching uniforms is important in hockey. The same color jerseys, the same color socks, the same color helmet, the same color gloves. All of those require a brand new version. But the same color pants can be achieved by keeping your own and covering them with this.
Moving on.
Number 8.
This is such a good one, dude. I can't fucking believe you figured this out.
Wow.
Let's go, Wags. Okay.
You're going to have to, I want Wags to say it before you, when I get it done. Question number 8. This team moved across the country from a hockey hotbed to just a hotbed. And while they don't share much love for each other these days, their 2 logos have this one thing in common.
Stars.
Star. Question number 9. This team was founded in 1999 and then left the league in 2011. They only made the playoffs once, and their franchise leading point scorer is a Russian they drafted first overall in 2001. He played there 8 years before signing an insane contract in New Jersey. The team got their name and logo after their state bird. But if they had gone with their state fruit, it would have been this.
Peach. Great. Yeah. Okay. I believe the answers are box, flower, Oilers, castle, lightning, rainbow, shell, star, and peach. Is Oilers right?
The Oilers is right.
Okay. What would the Oilers be? Okay. Agree. So I believe that the connection is Mario Kart.
It is.
Okay. Specifically Mario Kart.
Specifically Mario Kart. I thought you were going to say only Mario. Yep. Yeah.
But I'm having trouble remembering where the oil slicks are.
Dude, so...
Are they just in like one... Because I can picture them.
Yeah.
But they're not in the boxes, right?
No, they are, but it's not... And Wags, you correct me if I'm wrong. It's not 64.
Oh, it's Wii.
I think the
oil is in Wii.
I think the oil is only in Wii.
Oil is in Diddy Kong.
Okay.
And maybe that is what you're... but I don't
you
care.
get oiled in Mario Kart. So sometimes it hits your whole face.
Yeah, that's Wii.
Yeah,
That's got to be Wii,
Yeah,
Mario Kart Wii.
Yep.
Dude, how did you think of this one? What was the first one where you're like, oh, this is good?
Dude, so I great job, by the way. Crushed all of them. No hesitation. I was just coming up with random shit, and I was like thinking of trivia questions, because it comes from the hockey thing sometimes. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I could do something with the stars. And I was like, there's going to be a star in there somewhere. And I actually had another idea. When I first got star, I had another idea for a connection that I don't want to give away because I might use it. But I was rocking with that one and got like 3 deep on that one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's also in Mario. So I was originally going Mario because I thought I could do star, castle for Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I could do Mario. And then I was like, okay, I'll do mushroom and toad and whatever. But I was like, it's just going to be so easy. He's going to be like, yeah, I know all these things. And then I think the next one I thought of was lightning. And I was like, oh, dude,
Mario Kart.
I could do Mario Kart. And then slowly piece them all together.
Phenomenal stuff.
I put Peach last because I was like, you'll definitely get it then. But if you didn't have it then, I wanted you to get it. So whatever.
Phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal episode. Phenomenal night of hockey. We've got the Oilers who have moved on to the next round. We've got very pivotal games coming up in the next couple of days. You will see us tomorrow. By the time you're listening to this, it'll be Thursday. You'll see us tomorrow on the live. Guys, we'll always keep reminding you and asking you from the bottom of our hearts, subscribe to the YouTube. Share the pod, actually, please. If you've got hockey fans and you guys are chopping it up, mention to them in the conversation. Do you watch Empty Netters? Do you listen to Empty Netters? And if they don't, plug us. Get them to subscribe. Pop on, grab some merch. We got this great. I love this T-shirt.
I know.
I've got to bring it to New York.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
they'll love it.
New York.
Yeah.
Grab. You don't have the merch on right now. Well, this is like the first time ever you don't have it.
Yeah.
But grab some merch. It's awesome stuff. We've got new things coming out, especially as we got Oilers fans. We've got a sick tee coming.
Oh my God. Oilers fans going to love that.
Yeah, you're going to love it. But we love you guys. Let's keep rocking this thing together as we head into the third round here soon.
Just about there.
But until we see you, you know what to do.
Skate hard.